So today we are looking at another gold farm that you can do as any class, where you can make absolutely insane amounts of gold. By farming here you can make anywhere from 100 to 500 gold per hour, and there are some tricks here to make you even more gold based on how far you are willing to go. This is by far one of the most well hidden gold farms in Classic WoW in my opinion, because first of all it wasn't really profitable until phase 5, because the recipe itself to cook the stamina food came out in phase 5. Basically you're farming for elite chimeras in the Isle of Dread in the southwestern part of Feralise. And these guys are really tough to kill, so I would advise you to go here as 2 fairly good geared people, preferably ranged players, or go here as 3 people. You will see me in this footage on my terribly geared hunter, with my very good geared warrior friend, and we can only really kill these chimeras every 5 minutes when we have our cooldowns and he has his diamond flask. So I would advise you to be a bit better geared than I am, and go here as 2 ranged classes, so you can utilize some form of kiting, or go here as 3 people and consider bringing a healer. Up to you really, but the point is, you don't really want to farm here alone. You want to bring a friend or 2. So why farm here? Well, these chimeras have a chance to drop something called the chimeric tenderloin, which is again used to craft a new stamina food for tanks, which will be on high demand throughout the rest of Classic WoW. And these tenderloins only drop from these elites down here, so there's also fairly limited supply of this item. That being said, because it can only be farmed in this location, it is also fairly easy to have monopoly over the farm. And as you can see, there aren't too many chimeras around us in this video, because some multiboxer has been here and clearing all the chimeras. But here's where it gets interesting. These chimeras have 20 to 30k health. You need a very good setup or good gear to farm here, or you can be a multiboxer and just absolutely wreck anything in your path. So if you're a multiboxer like this guy in the video that I'm following around, how fast you can clear these chimeras depends on how many characters you have, but in this case this guy is a 15-man multiboxer, and the enemies just melt and he can clear out all of the chimeras at this island in about 12 minutes. They do have a 30-minute respawn timer, so if you kill them that fast there will be some downtime, but you can use that downtime to farm something else on some other character, or you can have monopoly over this island on 2 servers if you so choose, since you can clear the island on 1 server, then log over to the next one and do the same thing over there while waiting for respawns. What you do from there is completely up to you, but basically, if you're multiboxing, you will kill the chimeras way faster than they respawn, so there will be some downtime which affects the gold per hour, and the realistic gold per hour as a 15-man multiboxer is around 400 gold per hour in this location. When I was here on my hunter with 2 of my friends, we were able to make a fairly steady 300 gold per hour, but we were 3 people, so you have to divide the gold per hour by 3, giving us 100 gold per hour each from this location. You can alternatively go here as 2 people as well, as long as you have a decent setup and some good gear, but we went as 3 for some quick footage, since my hunter is in completely fresh level 60 gear. If we went as 2 and were able to kill the chimeras at about the same speed, we could divide that 300 gold per hour by 2 people, giving us 150 gold per hour each, and that is based on the meat being worth 22 gold per piece, and I would think it's worth around that and possibly more than that as well on most servers out there. The thing is though, this meat only drops from the chimeras on this island, and since they have a 30-minute respawn timer, the amount of meat available is fairly limited, so if you're able to keep monopoly over the island, you can pretty much set the price of the meat as high as possible, as long as you're still able to sell them. And remember how these mobs have a 30-minute respawn timer, and in this footage over here with this multiboxer in my group, we kill them very fast and have to wait for respawns. Well, if you go here and farm as any less than 5 people, or let's say maximum 5 people, you will most likely not kill all of the chimeras faster than they respawn anyway, so in most cases you will not have to wait for respawns, so you don't need to worry a lot about that one. But the long respawn timer does mean that mobs are fairly limited, and actually farming here at a decent rate pretty much requires your group to be the only group farming here, So me making this video could ruin this farm on some servers out there, but I feel like it's my obligation to at least share the location with you, tell you why it's good, and then it's up to you if you want to go and test it out or not. The location definitely is good, but there might be some gold makers and especially multiboxers trying to keep monopoly over this farming location. At least on my server, this multiboxer pretty much farms here every single day for several hours, and we even ran into a horde multiboxer as well that he is cooperating with. So when the multiboxer that I was playing with is not farming here, the horde multiboxer is farming here instead. But yeah, if you want a very decent gold farm you can do with a friend or two, this could definitely be a good farm for many of you out there, so my advice is to grab a friend or two and go here and test it out. My recommendation is to either be 2 decently geared ranged players or 3 people, but once again you can just go over here and test it out for yourself. I'm just saying that we tried this as me on my terribly geared hunter and my friend on his very well geared warrior, and we could only kill the mobs once every 5 minutes when we had all of our cooldowns available, because the chimeras have so much health and they also hit pretty hard as well, which is why you want to be 2 ranged classes to utilize kiting and some form of aggro switching or tanking. Like if you go here as a warlock and a hunter, you can easily use your pets and demons for tanking and just alternate aggro between the two. This location has been available since the launch of Classic WoW, so how many meat people have stocked up is a big question when it comes to the sell rate of these items, because some guilds might have been farming here in, for example, Phase 3 or Phase 4, and have massive amounts of stockpiles of it, and therefore they will not buy any. But based on my conversation with a multiboxer and my research on Nexus Hub, when it comes to the amounts of auctions sold, these types of meat does have a fairly decent sell rate, and once again, because it is used for stamina food, it usually spikes a little bit in price on raid days. And especially if you're able to craft the food itself as well, you can easily sell more of that on raid days. The recipe is also fairly limited though, as it is part of the Scarab Lord quest chain, and not many people will have it, but you can in fact buy it on the auction house, but because it is so limited it will also cost you quite a bit. But yeah, there it is guys, a probably too long video about a somewhat hidden gold farm that I'm not sure if you did or did not know about before watching this video. Leave a comment down below if you knew about this location, and let me know either in the comments or over on Discord how much gold you're able to make here on your server if you decide to give it a shot. And if you're wondering how much the recipe or the meat itself is going for on your server, I would like to remind you that I have a new item price bot on my Discord server for exactly this purpose, and you can check the price for any item on any server over on my Discord server in the bot commands text channel. So join my Discord server down below, leave a like on the video, and that's it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.